I just wish I still played Yu-Gi-Oh! Definitely miss it. Hey, it's never too late to get back in. Before I do my 5 push-ups for the 5 gifts I got earlier, hear me out. The last time I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Before I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Again in 2020, yeah, it was 2020. It was around the time Pharaoh's Servant, Magic Ruler, and Middle Raiders came out, along with, Legend of Blue Eyes. I just played in grade school, and then afterwards, I didn't really play again. I still had a bunch of the old cards. Like I had the Kaiba starter deck card, the Kaiba starter deck. Eventually, my dad got me the Pegasus starter deck from this store called P2000 in Stockton, and like I just kind of fell off from the game. But me and my friend in high school, my friend Ryan, we would watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge, which is really funny. It was hilarious, and I'm glad it's still going on right now to this day. So we would watch that. I didn't really get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! At that time. I got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! In 2020 when I was in Target, and I saw the two structure decks for the Egyptian gods, and I was surprised because last time I was familiar with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Circuit, the Egyptian gods weren't legal playable cards. So out of curiosity, I got both Obelisk and Slifer. I dug through them and was like, okay, yeah, this is cool. What can I do with them? Found out the Egyptian gods kind of suck. In my opinion, I think people just haven't found a way to break them yet. There's a bajillion cards in the game. So eventually I just started watching more YouTube videos about it. I found out about simulators like Dueling Nexus, and there's the other simulator that people like using because it feels more like you're playing the actual game. I don't like using that. Did you know Obelisk has seen competitive play? Yeah, that was actually kind of cool to see about that. I think it was in Frog Monarchs or something. Yeah, dueling books. I don't like using dueling books, but maybe that's kind of a skill issue on my part. But anyway, yeah, I just got caught up with how the game was. It was kind of intimidating seeing all the stuff that can be in the extra deck. But instead of quitting and, like complaining about how I think a game should be, I kind of just dropped all my preconceived notions about that. And I adapted to it. I did start off with the stun deck at one point, which kind of annoyed one guy online on Dueling Nexus, not gonna lie. But eventually I started playing decks like Ren Maju. I started playing decks like Flu. I'm so mad they hit Flu in this game, as a matter of fact, because it's a really good free-to-play friendly deck. It's doing practically nothing at this point in the game in Master Duel. MPen needs to come back to 2 or 3. Map needs to come back to 2 or 3. Yeah, all of the birds died when Konami killed them and turned them into robots that are spies now. But yeah, I like playing control decks a lot. Anyway, if a boomer like me can get the hang of Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, I think anyone can. It's one of the most challenging TCG games. I like how it pushes your critical thinking skills and problem-solving abilities. Honestly, all TCG games do that. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just the best at pushing people for that. No one in my area really plays. Everyone's big on Pokemon right now, sadly. What's really cool about Pokemon is that it is a lot more inexpensive. I haven't purchased a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card in almost a year now, if not a year. I just play Master Duel. Master Duel is way more budget friendly, and I got bills to pay. It's almost Christmas time. I went Christmas shopping. I'm not going to say what I bought exactly because my girl might see this. I do not want her, I'm not want her finding out until Christmas Day. Pokemon's cheaper and has better prizes. Yeah, Pokemon does have better prizes. Prize money, I will be a try-hard sweaty dude for that. I was playing Pokemon TCG on here, as a matter of fact, for a minute, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one of those games where it's so fun, it's hard to drop. I don't have an addiction to the game, but there is no game There is no game like Yu-Gi-Oh! I really wish it had Pokemon style prizing. One of my biggest beefs with Pokemon TCG is if you brick and your opponent draws the nuts, you basically watch your opponent play with themselves for 3, 4, 5 minutes. Like, a lot of people like to mention how Pokemon's resource system makes it a little better than Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't think that makes a difference, because then it just forces a different play style where you dump mana cards, or in this case energy, into the discard pile, or you shuffle them in the deck. You activate non-once per turn cards that let you get them back to your hand. You have Pokemon that have effects that let you attach energy, so you can kind of get around the 1 energy per turn rule. So when my opponent opens the nuts and I have absolutely nothing, it's kind of just me passing and watching them do whatever. I can't interact with them during their turn, because that's just the mechanics of Pokemon. And yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the hardest card game mechanically. There's no doubt about that. I'd say Pokemon is kind of easy mode, Magic is medium, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Is hard mode, if we're going to go with the big 3 for TCG. Let's just say, I guess if I have a preference, it would be Yu-Gi-Oh! However, I do hate the fact that Yu-Gi-Oh! Has bad pricing. In fact, the only reason I still play stuff like Duelist Cup is because of the gems. They really know how to get me on, to get certain people back on here playing constantly because of gems. It's great that Master Duel's free to play. I do think there's things that can be done better. Hopefully they listen to their player base. It seems like they definitely have people who watch content creators, because there's been times where I'll see someone like Cali Effect make a video about a problem in Yu-Gi-Oh! And then weeks or days later they'll make an announcement, or they'll release a set that kind of addresses some of the issues that are going on at that moment. Maybe like get rid of Tenpai. Tenpai shouldn't exist in a best of 1 format. Maybe, yeah, or like if they nerf it on here, it's just gonna get splashed into other engines. People will find a way. I'm pretty sure it can get splashed into something like Castira. Yu-Gi-Oh! Nexus is funny though. I got cussed out because I kaiju'd someone's Vanity Fiend. Nexus has some of the worst people on there. When I was starting to get the hang of things, I built a stun deck so I could learn how to interact with my opponent. And stun, honestly, if you're a newbie in Yu-Gi-Oh!, in my opinion, stun is a good way of teaching newcomers about interaction. It's so amazing seeing others playing. Yeah, Tony, thank you for the follow. Low-key, like, actually creeps on there too. I'm not surprised about the creeps, because I've heard multiple reports about Yu-Gi-Oh! Players either being creeps or just being totally inexperienced with girls. But 2 of my stories I'll share about Dueling Nexus before I get off of here. Yeah, I was playing stun. This guy I think he was playing Heroes or something like that. I don't remember what the guy was playing, but I had flipped something stupid like Solemn Strike or Solemn Judgment. It was Grand Maju stun, as a matter of fact. I didn't even get to start banishing cards, and this guy scooped and we went to game 2. And he was like, "Oh, F you! You're playing a stun deck." And I was like, okay. I kept citing, and he just said, "I have no respect for you. You play a stun deck." And he scooped again, and I took the W for the whole match. Heroes is practically stunned first turn anyways. Yeah, especially now. Like, this was before the support came out. But yeah, that guy got mad. And then another time, I was playing... No, I was still playing Grand Maju stun, as a matter of fact. And I was playing against some chick on there. She was really cocky. She was like, "I'm gonna be in Masters after this game." She set up a board with frogs or whatever, and passed and typed in GG, which, you know, I didn't say anything about that, but I was pretty annoyed. I won't even hold you. I was like, oh my goodness, this woman. But She typed GG in the chat before turn 2 even started, and I took game 1. She took game 2, I'm pretty sure, and that's when she was talking about how she was going to be in Masters after the match. And I was like, okay, well, congrats on getting this far. The game ended when she summoned, I think it was Swamp Frog, which, yeah, she normal summoned this guy. And, you know, I was playing Grand Maju Stun. I hit it with Solemn Judgment, and she dipped out of there so fast. And she was gone. She said bye-bye.
I'm gonna destroy magic! I came